Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel where today we are going to be reviewing the Packers Week 5 victory over the LA Rams with a final score of 24-19. Here's how the video is going to go. First off, we're going to go break down the scoring plays, see how the teams got their points. Then we'll be going through the box score for the Packers, and then I'll give my overall thoughts and impressions on certain players that played well and certain players who did not. And then we'll wrap it up with a look ahead to the next few weeks. So if you do not mind, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I am trying to get to 150 subscribers by the end of this calendar year, and your subscriptions would mean a lot to me. So let's go and get started with the scoring breakdown. First quarter, Packers got Josh Jacobs' first rushing touchdown with the organization, a 2-yard run for the 7-0 lead. Then it was all Rams in this second quarter with a Kyren Williams 1-yard touchdown run and a Jalen McCullough 4-yard pick six off one of the most stupidest throws I've ever seen any quarterback make, let alone the Packers. Like Will Levis tier bad pick six. Yeah. But the Packers were able to get it to 13-10-1 after the Rams missed an extra point, which proved to be huge later on. And Braden Narvison, who struggled last week, hit a 46-yarder dead set perfect for a 13-10 deficit. Third quarter, it was the Tucker Kraft show, with Kraft getting 2 touchdown passes from Love, one from 66 yards and one from 7 yards. Me and my wife were both very happy with that, as we both picked up Tucker Kraft in 2 separate leagues when we were facing each other. So, yeah, a little bit of fun there. For the 24-13 lead, in the fourth quarter, the Rams got a DeMarcus Robinson 1-yard touchdown pass from Matt Stafford, but failed a 2-point attempt for the final score of 24-19. So, yeah, it was a little sloppy, a little closer than I would have liked it to be, but the Packers did come away with the victory. For the box score, Jordan Love 15-26 for 224 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, which is absolutely stupid, and 2 sacks for 27 yards. But I will say, after the interception, is big for a quarterback to see how they will respond. Came back 9 for 9 with 2 touchdowns to lead the Packers to a victory after the interception. He had a couple incompletions later in the game, but overall, really pretty decent performance there from Jordan, but we'll get into consistency in a bit. Rushing, Packers got back to running ball more, 126 yards rushing. Jacobs, 19 for 73 yards and a touchdown. His first touchdown with the Packers. Wilson, 6 for 24. Reed, 2 for 19, and Love, 3 for 10, including a long of 12 that picked up a key third down late in the game. Receiving, no Romeo Doubs, no Christian Watson. We expected the receivers to take a little bit of a step up, but not necessarily was the case. Kraft was a big winner today, 4 for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. Reed, 4 for 78, had a beautiful grab on the second drive of the game for Green Bay that set him up for the 2-yard touchdown with a 53-yard catch that Jordan Love threw in triple coverage. Jaden Reed, amazing. Jacobs, 1 for 21. Wicks had a disappointing day, 2 for 20 on 7 targets, had quite a few drops that we'll get into a bit. Heath, 2 for 14. Melton, 1 for 12. And Wilson, 1 for -9. Fumbles, Jordan Love had a fumble but did not lose it. And McKinney had a fumble recovery. We'll get more into him in a bit. Tackles, Evan Williams impressed. 10 total tackles, 4 solo, 2 pass deflections, including a pass deflection on the final play of the game for the Rams on 4th and 5. He was absolutely everywhere. Walker, 9 for 6 and a tackle for loss. McDuffie had 9 total tackles as well. Javon Bullard had 8 total tackles. Keyshawn Nixon had a tackle for loss and a pass deflection. Edgerrin Cooper was fantastic, having a sack, TFL, and 2 QB hits. Preston Smith had half a sack with a QB hit. McKinney, 2 pass deflections. Carl Brooks, 1.5 sacks, including a tackle for loss, and 3 QB hits in place of Devontae Wyatt. Kenny Clark had 2 quarterback hits today as well. And interceptions, Xavier McKinney, 5 games, 5 interceptions, 5 straight games with the interception. He has been absolutely money for the Packers after coming over for the Giants. No kicker punt returns. Narvison, perfect on the day. Made all 3 extra points. Made his field goal. Big bounce back game for him to have that confidence to have a perfect game after the disaster that was last week. And Whelan had a bad day punting, was uncharacteristic for him. 5 for 186, 1 inside of 20, along of 41. So some guys I want to talk about today. Jordan Love, his second game back from injury. First half was a little bit rough. I will say that. That pick six made me scratch my head in disbelief at why he did that. Absolutely terrible decision. I understand what he was trying to do. He was trying to throw it out to avoid the safety, but he was still stumbling from a hit and just threw it out and got the pick six, so not great there. But he did respond well in that third quarter, in that second half. Pretty darn solid. He got Tucker Kraft involved a lot, and he tried to get Wicks going, but Wicks just completely failed. But he responded very well for that interception, led the Packers to take the lead back, and did enough to win the game, which I think is big. Josh Jacobs, congrats on getting your first touchdown as a Packer. Another solid game for him. 19 for 73 yards and a touchdown, like I said. And had another catch for 21 yards, extending his lead for most receptions without a receiving touchdown in NFL history. Good job, Josh. Receiving. Tucker Kraft had a big breakout day. I got a feeling a lot of people are going to be picking him up in fantasy if they haven't done so already. Like I said, me and my wife in fantasies, we were in 2 different leagues together. We faced each other in both leagues. In one league, she had Kraft, and the other league, I had Kraft. We were both pretty happy with that. Tucker Kraft did an amazing job. Jaden Reed also had a pretty big day, mainly in the first half. Kind of got quiet there in the second half. Tucker Kraft kind of took over, but Jaden continues to be one of the best receivers, honestly, in the NFL right now with another pretty good day. Wicks, massive disappointment with Dobbs and Watson out. I thought Wicks was going to have a breakout game, but he did not. Barely outproduced Malik Heath on 7 targets and had several drops in the game as well that could help make some big plays. He has to figure out his hands because everything else about him is good. He runs good routes. He's got good separation, good speed. He just needs to learn how to catch the dang ball. So if he could get that down, that would be pretty big for the team. The other guy, Evan Williams. Dude was all over making plays over the middle of the field. Has some really great coverage there, especially late in the game with no Jair Alexander. He stepped up and played really good in the safety position. Looking a bit of a steal right now with how good he's been playing. Bullard had a good game for himself as well. He was flying all over the field. Would like to see him maybe be as a slot corner instead of Keyshawn Nixon maybe, but that's just my hope. Edgerrin Cooper, proving why we took him in the second round. This dude is a blitz specialist. He had 5 total blitzes he was on. All 5 of the pressures. He had a sack on one of them and caused another sack as well. He's just been, when he's been in, he has been electric for the Packers. Preston Smith had a half sack, got some pressure, which has been lacking for the Packers almost all day. Looking at you, Rashawn Gary. But Carl Brooks had 1.5 sacks. He was the one who probably got the most pressure in this game, from what I saw. Coming in to take the place of Devontae White, who was injured this week, and he did a pretty good job, continuing to show that he is a good, solid player for a 6th-round pick out of Bowling Green. Kenny Clark had his first impact on the game all year with a couple of pressures that led to a couple of incompletions, so good for him. Rashawn Gary still needs some. I need something out of you, man. I need something out of you, Gary, because you are not living up to that contract right now. You are not living up to what we expect of you. And it has been very much a disappointing year for you. Please pick it up. Because this front needs you to. Because we're struggling right now. Xavier McKinney. What else can I say about him, man? He has been probably one of the most impactful free agent signings since, dare I say, Charles Woodson. I can't think of another person on defense that we have signed has this big of impact. And it's only been 5 weeks. He already helped cause 6 turnovers. Yeah. I say he's been worth it. So, love you, X. Love you, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next 4 years. So, happy for you. And going to shout out Narveson as well. Like I said earlier, him getting that confidence of having a perfect week, he needed that. He really did. And I hope he continues to build off of this game. Because, man, oh man, do we need a kicker. And so we take a look at the Packers currently at 3-2. Tied for last in division with the Bears. Vikings are 5-0, but cracks are starting to form a little bit. They got very lucky against the Jets with big turnovers and beneficial of some ticky-tacky penalties. And Aaron Jones got hurt, so maybe Minnesota kind of falls off a bit. Who knows? Detroit had a bye week, so they're 3-1. Now Green Bay and Chicago both 3-2. Take a look at the Packers schedule. We have the Cardinals next week at home. Now Arizona just squeaked out a win over the 49ers, who have been struggling for some weird reason this year. So the Cardinals are not to mess around even after they struggled for a few weeks. So it'll be a very close game. Kyler Murray has been mobile quarterback. But if you take a look at what we did the last time we faced a mobile quarterback in Anthony Richardson, defense did a really good job. So I expect it to be a competitive game next week. And then we play Houston. Yeah, that one's going to be tough. But I do believe in this team. We'll probably be like 4-3 heading into Jacksonville, which isn't terrible. Kind of about what I would expect anyway, to be honest. Yeah. But overall, impressive victory for the Packers. Got off to a slow start, were able to rally and get the win. So I like what I saw for the most part. Some things we need to clean up, but season's still young. This team will only get better. And so far, we're already off to a better start than we were last year. So, and that's with Jordan missing 2 games. But that's all I got for today. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back very soon. Peace.